Hello, today I'm going to show you how I make one of my not simple but 2-3 image collages that is a good starting point if you want to make a surreal collage, I would say. So here's a few examples that I grabbed where I take either I take an interior space and I cut out either the doorway or the windows to put another scene behind it. So in this one, this was, I believe, I don't even know. After a while, I don't even know where the images start and ends, but as you can see, I cut out whatever was in the background and then I put a space image right there. I think he was already overlooking like a sky or something, but I cut that out and put the space. This one is only 2 images. This was a vintage ad, as you can see, and I cut out all the background of the living room and I put this underwater scene. And my favorite part is that I cut off the chairs and the table, and let me see if you can see that. And I put some of the underwater scene in that part as well to connect it all together. And I have this turtle flying through and like a turtle leg coming over the handle over there to really incorporate it all together. My apologies for the glare. I'm figuring out the light situation. I'm next to a window. I have a light above me. The paper is shiny. You know, we're figuring it out. Which was another like a kitchen area from a vintage magazine, and I put a landscape behind it that I felt matched. I felt like the tones and the colors went well together. I cut out the countertop over there and put more of that scene in there, and so then I had the teacups to put back on there. And then up here in the cabinet I did the same thing as well as the background, so it all ties in together. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. I'm going to look for some images that I think will go nicely together, and I'll show you how I cut it out and put it all together. So this is just from a restoration hardware catalog that I got from somebody on Facebook Marketplace and a bundle of other magazines. So you can find a lot of free or very cheap magazines to use. And I was thinking I could use this, but a lot of these colors are just boring and the scenes are not that striking and they take up too much of the page, I think. So this could be one, but you would only get that little slice. But here's an example. So I would take my X-Acto knife and I would cut this around the handle as well. I would cut that and then I would replace it with, you know, whatever kind of maybe an underwater scene. I could do a desert scene, but it would kind of still be the same colors. But you could also do something with mirrors as well. Mirrors are a good thing. You can cut out the mirror and replace it with whatever. You can put a hot dog in there if you want to. You can put whatever you want in there. But as you can see, there's not much to choose from in here, so I'm gonna move to another magazine. So I've decided to just come back to this just because this is my first video testing everything out. So I'm just gonna tear it out. Sometimes I will just take an X-Acto knife and cut it out to get a clean cut, but that's what we're doing today. Oh child, get it together. I'm gonna take this ruler and I'm gonna take this X-Acto knife, sharp blade. Make sure the blade is sharp enough. If the blade is dull and this paper is very thin, it will snag and I won't get the crispness that I would like. So is it a straight line? It's not really a straight line, so I'm gonna freehand this, but I'm going to cut out this background. And I'm like, why is this? It's a different texture because I'm used to cutting on a cutting mat. Okay, so this will be a straight line because it's the actual wood. The curtain was not a straight line because it's a curtain and curtains are not straight. That little white space, if I was doing this again, I would probably make sure that's off, but this is kind of a sample video, so I'm gonna leave that there. But I am gonna cut this part out, I think. Wait, is this from the outside? What am I even looking at? Child, I don't know. I think this is from the outside. So let me just cut this out real quick. Like that. All right, so there's that. And then I would just clean up this area, clean up this edge. Press down on the ruler, press, 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 press. Bye, she gone. So now that it's cut out, I can test out different backgrounds. If I really wanted to, I could cut out this area maybe that's what I'll do. I'm gonna cut out these parts so I'll have more of the background showing, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how I choose a background. Sometimes you have to make decisions on what to cut and what not to cut. So I thought this was part of the wall. I think this is part of the bed, the headboard of the bed. I'm gonna leave that. This is the wall because this sculpture or whatever was on the wall. I'm gonna cut that out. And then I'm gonna cut this wall. I'm gonna cut this wall, leave the curtain and the curtain rod, and then I'm gonna cut this wall. I will come to my landscapes folder. Here's our cutout image, and I would just go through and see what I already have pulled out, like that I either just images that I liked or images that I was gonna use for something else that didn't end up getting used, and I'll see if I have anything that will work. So right off the bat, if this one fits, it might be the one. It's very shiny and glossy because it's from the cover of a book, I believe, or something like that. I think it is, but so you see how this one could work just barely. Barely. You know, that would be the vibe. That one might be the one actually. Oh, if I have anything in here. Except for the first one. I do like the first one still. Ooh. Ah, this one might be the one. Oh, there's just a little bit of text down there. This one would be perfect. I love how the colors go together. The only thing about this is there's that text right there. And if I cover this up, you know, it's not extending to the top all the way. That would have been a good one. So I'm gonna go back to the first original idea that I had. And yeah, get it placed. I'm gonna take my glue stick and glue the back. Sorry you guys about this glare. I'm working on it. But there's like, the glare is not when I'm looking at it. The glare is only when y'all see it. Why is that? Okay, I'm gonna take this and glue the back. One video I'll show you how to do it, but right now I'm just gonna do this off camera. I'm gonna place it on here and then I'll come back to cut it out. All right, so I have some glue on the back. And some glue on my baby. Oh no, this is why this is a little stressful part, because it's so fragile. And once the glue is on, the glue is on. So I'm just guessing. I'm winging it. I am winging it. Ooh, that girl good. That girl is good. I could have slid it down a little bit, but it's just barely gonna fit. Let's just do one little glue right here. You're gonna get some wrinkles sometimes. It's not my best work, but it's not my worst, you know? And that's all you can really ask for. Amen? So, cut the edge off. Here it is. I'm gonna go scan it in and then I will show you that picture at the end. But here's a simple 2-image collage. And I would cut maybe this down. I'm probably just gonna put this in my sketchbook, so I don't really care about the number there. But if this were like a finished collage, I would cut that page number off. Here it is, my finished 2-image collage. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me on this YouTube 2.0 journey. I hope to bring you guys lots more videos, process videos, and have much better situation going on. So I'm, you know, as I keep saying, I'm figuring it out. just give me some grace and give me a little bit of time, but I'm very passionate and excited to get into doing these because I like to watch them. So it only makes sense that I would make them. So thanks for watching. See you guys soon. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time.